Have you ever wondered why a man who cares, who's always kind, still ends up being left behind? Why women often choose the guy who doesn't deserve them, while the good man stays quietly in the background? It feels unfair, doesn't it? But the truth is, kindness alone has never been enough to create love. You can be the so-called good guy, yet still be placed in the safe zone, the friend zone, or worse, taken advantage of. Not because you lack value, but because you're making mistakes you don't even realize. In this video, I'll reveal the 8 most common mistakes that good men keep falling into. And more importantly, I'll show you how to change. So you're not just seen as the nice guy, but as the man women truly desire. So what's the very first mistake? The biggest trap that almost every good man falls into? Number 1. Afraid to show your true desire. You sit next to her, close enough that you could reach out and touch. Your heart is racing, but your hands tremble and pull back. You want to hold her hand, to hug her, to show her that you desire more than friendship, but you stay silent. And then the moment slips away, leaving you with nothing but regret. How many times have you missed out simply because you didn't have the courage to take that step? The truth is, women need to feel masculine energy, confidence, initiative, the willingness to show what you want. Not to control them, but to let them feel your real desire, the way a man desires a woman. If you just sit and wait, you'll always be placed in the safe zone. You'll be the trusted friend, but never the man she craves. Don't be afraid of rejection. Rejection is only a clear answer. Silence and hesitation are the prison that never ends. Learn to show your desire naturally, at the right moment, with confidence. Because once you dare to reveal your heart and your true longing, you'll break free from the nice guy trap and step into the role of a man who is truly magnetic. Number 2. You don't need to be her emotional shoulder. The phone rings in the middle of the night. She's crying, telling you about another guy who just broke her heart. You sit there, listening, comforting, giving her every honest piece of advice you can. Deep down, you hope that one day she'll realize you're the one who's always been there. But by the next morning, she runs right back to him, and you're left waiting once again. Have you ever wondered why all your patience, all your listening still doesn't make her see you as the man she wants to be with? The reality is simple. When you become the place she unloads all her pain, you're taking on a role she will never fall in love with. That's the role of the safe friend. It may sound flattering, but in truth, it's like a box. Once you're in it, it's almost impossible to escape. Women respect understanding, but they don't feel passion for a man who only listens in silence. They long for someone who makes them feel alive, inspired, drawn in by masculine energy. So don't turn yourself into the permanent shoulder to cry on. Offer support, yes, but don't carry the weight of emotions that aren't yours. Set boundaries, because real respect comes from both sides, not from you carrying everything on your own. You can care, you can be present, but if you become her emotional lifeboat, you'll always be the invisible substitute. Number 3. Confidence and conviction matter more than constant agreeableness. Honey, what do you want for dinner tonight? Anything's fine with me. What about this weekend? Where should we go? Wherever you want. Sound familiar? At first, this kind of flexibility might feel sweet, even thoughtful. But when it happens over and over, you start to disappear. A relationship can't thrive when one person erases themselves just to avoid conflict. A woman doesn't want a mirror that only reflects her choices back at her. She wants someone with a voice of his own, someone who knows what he wants and isn't afraid to decide. Confidence doesn't mean being controlling. It means standing firm in your values, even when they don't always line up perfectly with hers. It's the courage to say, "This is how I see it," without trembling. It's the ability to lead naturally, instead of waiting for permission at every step. That's the kind of strength that creates real attraction. Because constant agreeableness is not respect, it's fear, and fear never creates desire. Learn to say no when it matters. Learn to protect your perspective without apology. Because what earns respect is not nodding to everything. It's knowing when to stand tall in your truth. Number 4. Putting her first while forgetting yourself. You cancel dinner with your friends. You turn down an important career opportunity. You set aside your passions, your hobbies, your energy, just to be available whenever she calls. At first, it feels like love, but in the end, it leaves you empty. Have you ever looked back and realized your entire life started to orbit around someone else, while you disappeared? The truth is, women don't want a man whose whole world revolves only around them. They want someone with his own world, his own identity, his passions, his fire, who chooses to share it with them. When you abandon yourself, you lose the very spark that makes you attractive. Worse, you lose your self-respect. And without that, no one else will respect you either. A relationship is meant to be the meeting of two lives, not the sacrifice of one for the other. So yes, love her, but don't erase yourself. Hold on to what makes you strong, to what makes you admirable. Because when you respect yourself first, she'll respect you more than ever. Number 5. Kindness isn't a personality. It's a failed strategy. You drive her to work. You buy gifts. You send goodnight texts every evening. You do everything to prove you're different from the guys who treat women poorly. And then one day, you watch her choose a man who doesn't even try half as hard as you do. It hurts. It feels unfair. And you start to wonder, why? The truth is, kindness was never the problem. The mistake is treating kindness as a strategy, a ticket you hope will be exchanged for love. Women can feel the difference between a man who is kind because it's his core value, and a man who is kind because he's hoping to get something in return. Conditional kindness creates pressure. It makes her feel indebted, like she has to respond, rather than free to choose. And that's when attraction fades. If you want to be respected, if you want to be desired, let kindness be a natural part of who you are. Give without an invisible contract attached. When kindness flows from your values, it shines. When kindness is just a tactic, it eventually shows itself as fake. That's why women don't walk away because you're too nice. They walk away because they sense the truth you're hiding behind it. Because if your entire presence is built on conditional kindness, you're not really connecting with her, you're just playing a role. And that's why so many nice guys still feel empty, even when they're always there in a woman's life. Number 6. Just not being a bad guy isn't enough. You tell yourself, at least I don't cheat, I don't hit, I don't abandon women like those other guys. You think that simply being not bad is your advantage. But then, you still watch her leave with someone else. Have you ever wondered why being better than the wrong guy still isn't enough to win her heart? Because attraction doesn't come from avoiding the bad. It comes from what you actually bring into her life. Women don't want a safe, empty space. They want energy, vitality, a man with passion, goals, and fire. A man who inspires them, not just one who avoids harm. Yes, kindness is the foundation, but attraction comes from being someone she can admire, someone she can be curious about, someone she truly wants to follow. Don't just be proud because you don't do wrong. Build a life so full of purpose and strength that she wants to be part of it. Because only when you live fully, only when you embody your potential, do you radiate the kind of attraction that lasts. Number 7. You can't fake your way into real connection. You smile, nod, and say, I'm fine, while deep inside you feel suffocated, uneasy, but you don't dare speak up. You hide your preferences. You swallow your frustrations. You pretend to be agreeable, just to keep her around. But are you really connecting? Or are you just acting, hoping the performance will be rewarded with love? The truth is, no one can fall in love with a mask. Women don't want artificial perfection. They want a real connection, even if it comes with friction, even if it comes with differences. Because only when you dare to live authentically can she see who you are, and then choose whether to stay or walk away. If you keep pretending just to please her, you'll be accepted, but never desired. Don't fear the differences. Don't fear speaking your mind. Because authenticity, even when it's imperfect, is 1,000 times more attractive than carefully packaged fakery. Let her see who you truly are, and be at peace with the reality that not everyone will choose you. It's that courage, that willingness to be real, that opens the door to deeper love. Number 8. Sometimes you're doing the right things with the wrong person. You text her every morning. You check in every night. You remember the little details from her stories. You're serious, you're kind, you're genuine. But then you discover she never wanted a real relationship with you. Or worse, she only reaches out when she needs attention. Never when it's about caring for your heart. Do you see yourself pouring everything into a door that was never going to open? This isn't your failure. It's just the wrong person. Because love isn't only about effort. It's about alignment. You can do everything right, but if it's with the wrong person, the result will still be zero. The mistake many good men make is believing, if I just persist long enough, she'll come around. But persistence with the wrong woman only drains your time, your energy, and eventually, yourself. You don't need to change your nature. You just need to choose wisely. Choose the woman who actually wants what you bring. The woman who values the man you already are. Sometimes rejection isn't the end. It's simply redirection, pointing you closer to the woman who was truly meant for you. You see, kindness has never been the problem. But if you rely on kindness alone, you'll always end up in the wrong place. Real attraction doesn't come from blind sacrifice or endless people-pleasing. It comes from confidence, from conviction, from the courage to live as your true self. It's about keeping your own world alive, expressing your desire, and letting her see the man you really are. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be the strongest, most authentic, most alive version of yourself. And when you do that, love won't be something you chase. Love will come to you. If these words resonate with you, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss what's coming next, and share your story in the comments. I would truly love to hear from you. Thank you for staying until the very end, and I'll see you in the next video.